When you hear the term AI, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, our minds jump straight to the movies. We think of these super smart robots that are either going to save humanity or, well, the other option. Okay, let's get into this. Because the gap between the AI we imagine and the AI we actually live with is massive. And honestly, understanding that gap changes everything.
Yeah. Our whole idea of AI is pretty much shaped by fiction, and it always boils down to one of two extremes, right? On one side, you have the total utopia, these amazing, loyal helpers like R2-D2 or Data from Star Trek who are there to make our lives better. And then you've got the complete nightmare scenario, the cold, creepy HAL 9000 or the literal end of the world with Skynet. It's always the helper or the hunter.
But here's the thing. That's the fantasy. The reality check is that the AI that is actually changing our world right now, it isn't sitting around wondering if it has a soul or plotting a robot uprising.
No, it's way more about practical and frankly less dramatic stuff. Think of it as a superpowered assistant that's really good at sorting through information. We're talking about using it to make hospitals run more efficiently, to take over boring administrative tasks, and even to do something totally amazing like listening to hours and hours of forest sounds to track wildlife. And this brings us to our first really cool real-world example. So forget Skynet for a minute, and let's talk about how AI is becoming one of the most powerful tools we have for protecting the natural world.
So here's the breakdown. Scientists can go out and put these little audio recorders all over a forest or a jungle. They capture terabytes of sound, thousands of hours. It's an absolute goldmine of data. But there's no way a human could ever listen to it all, and that's where AI steps in. It can comb through that mountain of sound, automatically filtering out all the noise, like 99% of it, to find the one bird call or wolf howl that researchers are looking for. It gives them insights that were just impossible a few years back.
And this quote right here, it just nails the shift that's happened. For centuries, the hardest part of science was just gathering enough information. Now, we're practically drowning in it. The big challenge isn't getting the data anymore, it's making sense of it. And that is exactly the kind of problem today's AI is built to solve.
And this isn't just some abstract research either. It has a real immediate impact. In India, there's this system called TrailGuard AI. It uses cameras that can instantly recognize a tiger. So when one gets too close to a village, an alert goes out to farmers, giving them time to get their livestock to safety. This doesn't just save the farm animals, it saves the tigers too because it prevents those revenge killings. It's a simple, brilliant solution to a really complex problem.
So, that's the good news. But for every story about AI making things visible, there's another one about how it can make people, well, disappear. Let's pivot from the wilderness to the workplace, where AI's role is a lot more complicated and, for a lot of people, incredibly frustrating.
This is the story of a woman we're going to call Daisy. She has 40 years of experience as an executive assistant. 40 years! When she was laid off, she started applying for new jobs. Now just look at this chart. Out of nearly 1,000 applications she sent out, she got only 5 interviews. 5! And here's the crucial part. Daisy isn't being rejected by a person, by a hiring manager who read her resume and thought, not a good fit. No, she is being systematically filtered out by automated systems. These algorithms scan her application, and without any human ever looking at it, they just decide she isn't worth an interview. She's being erased before the game even begins.
And here's why that happens. AI hiring systems, they don't read for a story. They scan for data points. They're looking for keywords, for very specific formatting, for how you did on some timed test. And you know what gets lost in that translation? Everything that actually makes us human. The nuance, the context behind why you took a certain job, the creative way you solved a tough problem. The machine completely misses the narrative. And for Daisy, it missed 40 years of incredible experience.
So you have these two totally different realities, don't you? On one hand, AI is this game-changing tool for science. On the other, it's a cold, impersonal gatekeeper. It kind of makes you wonder why we're so anxious about it all. Well, it turns out that feeling, it's way older than any computer. The famous sci-fi writer Isaac Asimov actually coined a term for it, the Frankenstein Complex. But the idea itself goes all the way back to Mary Shelley's novel in 1818. It's this deep, primal fear that something we create will turn against us, that it'll get too smart, misunderstand its purpose, and end up causing harm. And whether that's a monster running wild or an algorithm unfairly kicking someone out of a job hunt, the core fear is exactly the same, a loss of human control and human judgment. The stories we've told ourselves for 200 years, from Frankenstein all the way to the Terminator, have done a really good job of defining our fears about AI. But as we've seen, the reality today is less about killer robots and more about these subtle but very real risks to fairness and humanity. So the real question for us right now is this: how do we stop just being shaped by those old fictional fears and start taking action to shape a better, more human reality with these incredibly powerful new tools?